Hi guys, it's Charlotte. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope I fixed the mic. Last time I used this mic, it did not sound also good, but I'm using a different camera. I used my Canon last time, we're on a different camera today, so let me know if it was the camera, if it's the mic. I would love to know. But thank you so much for joining me again today. Today's YouTube video is all my favorite books of 2025 so far. We have the good, the bad, and everything in between. I'm also going to talk about my honorable mentions, so my 4.5 star reads, okay? My nearly 5-star reads and books I just generally really enjoyed, but we're also going to talk about the books I DNF'd and why I DNF'd them and everything in between. Now, this is my opinion. You can have a different opinion than me, and we can sit together and we can talk about it and it can be fun, okay? So, without further ado, grab a little drinky drink, okay? And let's get started. Okay, all my physical books are in the other room, so we're just going to do this with me blending in books. Okay, that's fine. That's more work for me, but you still get the idea. The very first book we have is Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. Ah, Scarlett and Lucas. Oh my god. Now I know people hated this book or either they loved it. And it's so funny to me because I was so scared to read this because so many people were like, yeah, this wasn't for me. And I was like, oh my god, I'm literally terrified. But I read it and I love this book. It follows a competitive diver, Scarlett, and Lucas. Now, Scarlett is very reserved. She keeps to herself. She's like, I will dive and then I will go home. And Lucas is dating one of Scarlett's teammates. Okay, they're dating. She knows about this. It's fine. She's never actually looked at Lucas a second in her life. She's like not really cared for him. And Lucas, oh my god, my man Lucas, he kind of likes Scarlett. So him and his girlfriend break up, and him and Scarlett enter this like no strings attached fun arrangement, and things kind of go from there. I love this book. The twists, the turns were very expected, but I still love this. This was like I was like in bed giggling, kicking my feet up, and I was like, "Oh, this is so fun! This is so much fun." So let me know if you were one of the haters or if you actually really like this book, because I'd love to know. And like, if you didn't like this book, let me know why. Like, what specifically didn't you like? And if you like this book, like, what specifically did you like? So I just got an email from school, so I'm gonna have to read that in a minute. Next book that I rated 5 stars is Bad Blood by Jennifer L. And so I get her mixed up all the time with Jennifer Armentrout. I know they're two different people, but Charlotte, oh my god, their names are so similar. But no, Jennifer Lynn Barnes. She is the author of the Natural series, and that is one of my all-time favorite book series ever. Bad Blood is the last book in that series. I rated this 5 stars because I did not see any of that coming. If you haven't read the Natural series yet, please read it. It follows kids that are recruited by the FBI, teenagers, not kids, that are recruited by the FBI to basically profile old cases, cold cases, and kind of work on them. They're really good at like naturally reading lies, telling body language, and just like everything in between. They're really good at profiling people, so they are kind of like scouted by the FBI for their natural talents, and things go from there. I love the series. It's found family, it's friendship groups, it's everything in between, and it really dives into like the psychology of murder a bit more, and it's written by a psychologist, and I absolutely love that. I think she studied psychology. I don't think she's actually a practicing psychologist, but she definitely studied psychology, and you can tell. And I absolutely love the series. If you haven't checked it out, please do. And if you have checked it out, let me know if it was like a 4 star, a 3 star, a 1 star, or a 5 star read for you. We have Play Along by Liz Tomforty. Isaac, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he is my man. This follows Isaac, whatever. Okay, it follows this dude, and he is a shortstop for a baseball team. This is part of the Windy City series, just FYI, which is an interconnected standalone series. But this is the fourth book, and it follows Isaac, and he is the funny guy. Okay, he is the comedic relief in any situation, and it follows him, and he basically wakes up one day and he's married to his crush. Like, he's in love with this girl. He has been in love with this girl, but she does not really give him a second of any day. Like, she's not in love with him. Okay, that was not the saying, but you know what I mean. And it kind of goes from there. And Kennedy, my girl, she is the athletic trainer for this team, and she's awesome. Okay, she is very reserved. She had to like grow up a lot quicker than everybody else, and she has her demons, and it kind of follows their story. So much fun. Marriage of Convenience, so good. He falls first and he also falls harder. It is this is just how it is. Book I have is A Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood. Oh my god, there's crack in this book. And I've seen several people talk about this online. This book is just wild, okay? This book is wild. It's set in Sicily. It follows like if you've read Not in Love, it follows, or if you have read that book, it follows Maya, the sister of the main guy in that story, and it's his wedding, and they're in Sicily, and it's his best friend, and his best friend is 15 years older than our main girl, Maya, and it follows her and Connor, and it's so good. It's basically like it's never been anybody but you, and it's insane. Like they can't be together, and like he's like, oh my god, I'm too old for you. There's a power dynamic, but she's like, oh my god, but I'm in love with you. It's so good. I sat down and read this story, and I just did not stop. Like I literally canceled plans to read this. If you're seeing this, no, I didn't. But no, I literally did. Well, technically, I we made plans to read in the park, so we changed the plans. But I was like, no, I have to read this book. Like I have to read this, and I wanted to read it as quickly as possible, but I also didn't. If that makes sense. Next, we have an autobiography, and I actually recommend listening to this on audiobook through your ears, and that is The Third Gilmore Girl by Kelly Bishop. Kelly Bishop. Oh my god, the woman you are. I actually did not know this much about Kelly Bishop. Going in, I knew she was in Dirty Dancing, and I knew she obviously was played Emily in Gilmore Girls, and that is my all-time favorite show ever. But I did not know this much about her life. It basically follows her 6 decades on and off Broadway, how she came to be in the acting world and everything in between, her health struggles, her husband's health struggles, her late husband's health struggles, everything in between. It was awesome. It was amazing. I highly recommend you listen to this. Kelly is so incredibly funny. This book had me laughing out loud. Like I was listening to this on the subway, I was cackling. And also like I used to dance ballet, and her talking about like her love of dance, I was like, wow, that is why I used to dance. Like I want to start again. Like that was wild. I don't have AC on right now, and I am sweating. I am very, very warm. If you see me sweating, no, you don't. No, you don't. The next book I have is A Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. That is such a long title. This book I loved. Okay, people again hated and loved this book. I absolutely loved this one. This is follows two writers who are basically in competition to write the story of a reclusive heiress who no one's heard of about, or again of in 10 years. That made no sense, but she is in isolation. Okay, no one knows where she lives, and this is basically her chance to tell the story. But she pits these two authors against each other to write the story. It's awesome. It's amazing. We have the Erisa story, which has a tragic ending, and then you have the story out of the now, which is the two writers. Awesome. I love the story. It's Emily Henry at her finest. I love this more than Beach Read. It was insane. It was amazing. Chef's kiss. And I actually listened to this as an audiobook as well, which I wanted to read this because I generally prefer reading a bit more, but listening to this as an audiobook was awesome. Like I went on really long walks, and I was like really one with the story, and it was so much fun. This book I read was Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I rated this 5 stars as well. I was crying. I was literally sobbing. My boyfriend like could not stop laughing at me because I was eating food and crying like into my plate, and it was wild. This follows our main girl, okay, Joan, and Joan is she's a professor, and she basically has this chance to apply to the NASA astronaut program. It's set in the 1980s space shuttle program at NASA. It is so well done. We have two girls that fall in love. It deals with basically the misogyny and also the homophobia at NASA during that time. And you have chapters out of the now that are tragic, and you have chapters out of the then that it's like building up to this whole thing. It's amazing. I was crying. It was so good. Have your tissues ready. Insane. Taylor Jenkins Reid does it again. But not least, I have Destructively Mine by Kristen Becker Ritchie. They are my all-time favorite authors. I basically everything they write, I read. I don't always rank it super like it's. I think the lowest I've ranked something of theirs was like 3 stars, and that was just generally because I was sick while reading it, and it was more that I wasn't comprehending what I was reading. But this book I absolutely loved. The first book was amazing. This is the second book in the Webs We Weave series. The first book was amazing, but that was more like the intro into the series. This book was like tension was running high. It was so good. If the whole series basically follows grifters and their life, and it's so insanely like messy and dark and intense and toxic. It's so good. But the side characters, chef's kiss. I love how Kristen Becker Ritchie write the side characters in every single stories of theirs. They're just as important as the main characters. It's amazing. If you haven't read any single book of theirs, I actually recommend this series, Webs We Weave. Really, really good. Addicted / Callaway Sister series, or their Like Us series, or also their Circus series. They changed the title of that one, and I have the old titles on my bookshelf, so I always think of a moi moi, but that's no longer what it's called. But they have another series. They have quite a lot of books. They have a few standalones. I definitely recommend checking them out if you like heavy side characters and like an insanely well done found family. Okay, we're here for the honorable mentions. Okay, drum roll. We have Rally by Devney Perry. Wow, Charlotte. She waited a whole video to mention Devney Perry. Whoa. We've come so far. No, I love Devney Perry. I had a while where I was reading a lot of her books. Rally, such a fun small town sports romance. Read before you read. If you don't like a certain trope, where out of two characters there become three, make sure that you read if this is something you would be into. I really like this book. I thought it was so much fun, and it was like, it was really really well done, and I loved it, and I loved the characters, and it was just it's book 3 in a 4-book interconnected standalone series. I still have to read the last book in that series, but book 1 and 2 were also insanely good. Next, another Devney Perry book, obviously, is Shield of Sparrow. Obviously, I was going to mention this. This is a really, really interesting fantasy book, and I'm really excited to see where she takes the story. It was a like really good combination of suspense and like emotional chemistry and surprises. Okay, I saw all the surprises coming. I'm not going to lie, but one surprise, I was like, oh, what? But all the others, it was just a really good book, and it gave me like the feels I had when I first read The Bridge Kingdom, which is one of my all-time favorite fantasy series, and Throne of Glass has its own little pedestal with me, but insane. I really liked it, and I have a feeling this might turn into like an Akatar 2.0. Don't quote me on that, but I have good feelings for this series. Oh my god, my foot just slipped off of where I had it on. It kind of hurt. The next book I have is The Favorites by Lee Lane Fargo. Is that her name? I don't know. I have it written down here, and I don't know. This is such a good book. If you like figure skating, if you liked Daisy Jones and the Six, I think you will love this book. It follows our main protagonist, who's for the first time ever telling her story. It's written like a documentary. It's well done. I really liked it. Some people said they thought it was trying too hard. Personally, I think it could have been 100 pages less, but I still really, really enjoyed the book, and it was wild. Like, I was like, what? While reading it, I was like questioning everything and anything. Kind of has like thrillery vibes, but it's not a thriller. But it's like high stakes, figure skating, romance, agony. Best describes it, I guess. And my last honorable mention is The Sentence is Death by Anthony Horowitz. This is the second book, I think, in the Word is Murder series. This is so good. If you like Sherlock Holmes and like easy whodunits, I highly recommend the series. It's like they're all you can read them like as standalones, but I would recommend reading them in order. We have an author who gets partnered up with this washed up ex-detective to solve crime. It's so much fun. It's Anthony Horowitz writes as if he, and I don't know if this is actually a true story where he's actually involved in these crimes, but that's kind of how it's written. So well done. I highly, highly recommend you check it out if you haven't done so yet. Now, rapid fire, because this is kind of long and I know people don't have the attention span they used to have. Rapid fire DNF. I DNF'd The Pucking Wrong Date by C.R. Jane. Did not like this book one bit. I DNF'd One Look by Lena Hendrick. Was not for me. I DNF'd Rapid by Ivy Asher. I really wanted to love this book because I wanted to like be in my bride era again, but this was not it for me. Maybe I'll go back and reread it because I've heard people like it, but it just wasn't it for me in that moment of time. Bourbon and Lies by Victoria Wilder. I'll try again, but maybe not with this book. And The Infinite Between Us by N. Jess Perkins. Whoa, I was so bored reading this book that I was just like, I'm just going to DNF it. I hate DNFing books. I generally don't like it. I will usually power through, but life is so short and we don't have enough time to read all the books we want to read. So I've started to DNF. This was my one of my like reading goals of 2025, and so far we're off to a good start. Okay, let me know your favorite books of 2025 so far. Let me know what books you think I should read next. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining. Send this to a friend. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet. I do bookish content, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. I've also started doing reels and TikToks, so check those out if that interests you. Bye. Thank you so much for watching.